Who gives a shit if the fire chief is gay? I'm sorry, but who gives a flying fig about who she likes to sleep with? Can you fight the fires, madam? That's the relevant question. We don't care about your lady parts, and we don't care who you want having access to them. Can you fight fires? Can you make sure there's water in the fire hydrants? When you realize in Ventura County, this is a massive problem. When you realize that California is going through a drought where they haven't had rain in weeks and months, I don't care who turns you on. And you know why they have only 100 women in a squad of 3,300? Because women tend to be smaller and not as strong. And unless you lower the requirements to become a firefighter, most women can't pass the test. This is an absurdity. This is just like the Secret Service and what happened with Trump. We needed all these women in there who weren't even tall enough to protect the 6'3" president. Under this woman, Ms. Crowley, the department created a diversity, equity, and inclusion bureau to train firefighters not on refilling the hydrants or what to do when they're empty, but on the importance of DEI.
Yes, this is Gavin Newsom sending a shot to Trump because he came out to criticize him. If you watch previous videos, the interview Trump had with Joe Rogan 1 month ago, Trump made it clear. He talked about what is going on now, but nobody cares. He received criticism. They mocked him on what he said, but today we are witnessing this. Gavin Newsom is that we don't play politics. I understand the kind of sentiment he's struggling to put out, but the truth need to be out there. Now it's time for people to take care of those affected, but the Biden administration is sending money to Ukraine.
You might have recall a news story from last year. There was some interest in the fire departments and the firefighters in California, and the interest was that there were too many white men who were firefighters, and we need to have a program in California to make sure we don't have enough white men as firefighters. So we have BEI, we have budget cuts, and yet I'm wondering now, if your house was burning down, how much do you care what color the firefighters are?
You can respond, and then we'll...
Listen, I am so tired. You know what? There was an article that just came out that said that actually the most educated demographic in this country right now is black women. So let me be clear. Because you are a woman, or because I know that some of the right has been sharing these photos of the fact that I believe that the fire chief may be a woman or something, that has nothing to do with it. We are looking at qualifications. What diversity, equity, and inclusion has always been about is saying, you know what? Open this up. Don't just look at the white men. Open it up and recognize that other people can be qualified. And the fact that we want to, at a time when people are dying, decide that a country of immigrants is failing, or people are dying because the same very people that built this country, because the last time I checked, y'all didn't say that anything was wrong with the White House, and I can promise you it was my ancestors that built the White House. So listen, if we have been good enough to build this country, we are good enough to serve and die overseas, we are good enough to serve in other ways. And the fact that people actually decide that they want to engage in public service, whether it's sitting in Congress or whether it's serving on the fire department or the police department, should not be an issue. The fact is, stop trying to act as if only white men are the ones that are capable. Because right now, you're sitting at a table with 3 very capable black women.
I'm not.
L.A. Mayor Karen Bass frees up while getting absolutely screwed by a reporter for her horrible policies. This is exactly how these people should be treated. She is returning from Ghana. She is facing massive criticisms on what is going on. It is important. I assure you, she refused to take questions.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Can you back up? Appreciate it. Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them.
When you take a look at this, Donald Trump was mocked for sounding the alarm on the California water fire crisis during his interview with Joe Rogan. Turns out he was right. Trump spent nearly 7 minutes ranting about the issue, blasting Newsom for nothing to fix the problem. Trump specifically discussed the California data smell controversies where rainwater is wasted by being directed into the Pacific Ocean to protect a tiny fish species. You know, the Los Angeles, you can't get proper amount of water in order to protect a tiny little fish. The water of none get routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water get poured into the people mocked Trump when he said this. Now look at the situation. He was right all through. When I look at what is going on at a certain point, it's extremely concerning. Biden administration sending money to Ukraine at this time, people are facing difficulty.
Laura, with all due respect, if it is true that things were handled this way, if it is true that Gavin Newsom is the absolute blithering idiot that I believe he is in the way he has handled fire management in this state again and again and again and again, this isn't a wake-up call. This is the kind of thing they have tribunals for, where they try people and say, you had an oath of office to perform certain duties. When you're the fire chief, this isn't a social justice exercise that you're in charge of. This is you getting water to areas that need water because there are fires in 100-mile-an-hour winds burning houses to the ground. I watched on a Ring camera a guy have to sit and watch his pet burn to death. You know, those things are issues of the heart when you watch a cherished little pet or, you know, it's just you. I posted this on X, but Sarah was on with her 8-year-old niece last night. And she came out. I'm sorry. Just, one day you're swimming in the pool and the next day it's...
Trump responded, this is what he put out. President Trump is slamming Gavin Newsom for allowing these fires to happen. Trump accused Newsom of prioritizing a wildlife fish over his people. Remove Newsom. That is what Trump put out. Gavin Newsom refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snow melt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including the areas that are currently burning in a virtually apocalyptic way. He wanted to protect an essentially worthless fish called a smell by giving it less water. It didn't work, but didn't care about the people of California. Now the ultimate price is being paid. I would demand that the incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California. Look at the pain. This is James Wood crying on CNN. His house is being burned down. I don't know if this is another Maui or what exactly. The situation is beyond control. I'll be updating you, giving you more information to what I'm observing on social media. I didn't want to report this, but people keep sending this to me. God bless you.
Health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
It's my favorite. People keep saying, I keep seeing this where people that go over to Blue Sky.
If you don't. Hey everyone.
What do we do?
Right now you're looking.
History, remember it.
As a country about